Ladies and gentlemen, it has happened once again. Under Nelson Mandela, they defended him against Sarafina. Under Thabo Mbeki, they defended him against the arms deal. Under Mohlante, they defended him when he disbanded the Scorpions. Under Zuma, they defended him when he did state capture. And now, under Cyril Ramaphosa, once again, Parliament has defended him because of Phala Phala. Every single ANC president since 1994 has had a scandal that's been swept under the carpet by Parliament, and Cyril Ramaphosa is no different than any of his predecessors. And of course, Byron, what does this mean for Ramaphosa himself?
Nothing. It basically means nothing. It means the ANC are being the ANC. However, what it actually means, folks, is that the RET element is dead. It's proper dead. So for those of you who didn't watch the bullshit today, Dlamini Zuma went and defied the ANC orders and voted against the report. She voted for the report and against Ramaphosa. So she has now come out in the media saying that she will not take it to heart if Ramaphosa decides to redeploy her. With all that being said, Lindile Sisulu, who had a lot to say and was very vocal about how he should be impeached, didn't even pitch for the vote, mate. So she was nowhere to be seen. This is typical of the ANC. But with that all being said, what does this actually mean? Well, for those of you who don't recall, in the Zondo report, it was said that obviously one of the failures of the ANC in Parliament was, as we all know, party first, state second. And they said that MPs need to have greater accountability. And the president acknowledged this and said, yes, they do. But here we have it, yes, again. ANC sides with as president. Everybody has said we need to protect the president. By everybody, I mean the ANC. And that's what they've done. They protected the president yet again, which means he is now equivalent to Zuma and all his predecessors.
Exactly. This is Zuma 2.0, right? So if we look at the group who rebelled against the ANC and said that the report must be tabled for impeachment, it's basically people who are loyal to Jacob Zuma, right? Dlamini Zuma, his ex-wife, Zwane, the guy who was, helped the Guptas with all sorts of things in the Free State, Supra, who was a former premier of the Northwest who destroyed that province, and Mervyn Dirks, who no one actually gives a shit about. These are the only people that actually, funny enough, want to apply the law to Cyril Ramaphosa. It's like the worst elements of the ANC are actually correct in this particular scenario, whereas, as Byron rightly said, Sisulu, with a big mouth, did not pitch up, and Bongani Bongo, who was arrested for something, did not pitch up either. Funny enough, Zweli Mkhize, the presidential hopeful against Ramaphosa, did not pitch up, but his running mate in the ANC, who is his mate personally, took the party line and refused to adopt the report. So what does this mean for Cyril himself is that he's basically a shoo-in for the elective conference come a week or so. And the RET faction, not that it ever existed, it just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist, Byron. We've been saying this for the longest period of time. It just doesn't exist at all.
Yeah, and everybody now has to sit back and remember, we are now on the road to 2024 when the country gets to decide whether it's fed up of the ANC enough to remove it from power. As Musi Maimane, who I know you're not a massive fan of, Ramon, but Musi Maimane tweeted out today, "Dear South Africa, there is life after the ANC, and we need to remember that. 2024 is now coming up. We have 2 years. RET is dead, which means fundamentally all failures between now and 2024 of this government cannot be excused against RET factions and infighting of the ANC. All failures of the ANC now are firmly on Ramaphosa's shoulders. The excuses have dried up. The fights have been fought. He's on his own, mate. So now he's got to stand up and be counted. Will that change the course of the country? Will things improve? Like hell.
And for more of this, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Tagmach. I'm sure most of you know that South Africa is not a normal place. I mean, the July riots of a year ago is very indicative of that. So if South Africa is not normal, why are you settling for normal tactical gear? Which is why we at Morning Shot refuse to use normal tactical gear. We use Tagmach. Tokma creates the best versatile, battle-hardened tactical gear in the entire country. Gear which is versatile, reliable, and ready to serve in any environment. From medical pouches to magazine holders, Tokma has the best tactical gear for your next hunting adventure, expedition, or even your riot prevention exercise. And for viewers of Morning Shot, you get a special discount through our link, which is in the description below. Back, and actually, Geo viewers, I think I owe you an apology, because in the earlier videos when the Pala Pala scandal came out and this report came out, I said Cyril has no choice but to resign. Right? The report was damning against him, huge scandal. He can try fight it, but maybe the ANC doesn't have the appetite to have a Zuma 2.0. And I'm going to admit, for the first time since 1987, I have been wrong about something. It appears that the ANC have huge appetite to defend whoever they want to defend at whatever cost. So I do apologize for that. It won't happen again. I've been right 99.9% of the time. This particular time, I have been wrong. Though, to be honest, based on all the things that we saw at the time, Cyril was ready to resign at the drop of a hat. So we weren't completely off the map. But yeah, I just wanted to apologize for that. But essentially, the important part you need to understand is Gwede Mantashe and Paul Mashatile delivered the win for Ramaphosa. These people are going to be rewarded very highly come the electoral conference. And as we said early on, Paul Mashatile, probably Deputy President or Secretary General at the very least.
Paul Mashatile, Secretary General. Gwede Mantashe, probably, I'll say, go up Dlamini Zuma's role. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this all goes. I predict a reshuffle coming in after the electoral conference. Becky Cele probably still in his job because you can't get rid of that cunt, can you? But at the end,
I hope
at the end
YouTube doesn't pick up that term, Byron. Come on now, we got like boomers watching us. They're going to be very upset with you for using such vulgar language.
I would really hope that they don't feel upset when we're talking Becky Cele and what he's done to this country in terms of work, man.
But we do apologize, viewers. He does live in the Eastern Cape, so it's like just a normal term
there. Right. Anyway.
Sorry, carry on.
Right, Karen, calm down. Right, all I can say is, like, Ramon, we will forgive you for making your mistake. And I think that your mistake was, how should we say, predictable. Because unfortunately, Ramon, you made that one mistake that all of us from time to time make. And it's a mistake that we all get encouraged to make. And that is thinking that Cyril has a small amount of integrity. And your prediction was based on the fact that Cyril would use that integrity and do the right thing. And for 1 second, that weakness obviously shone through when you were like, he has no option but to resign. Because that would have been the right thing to do. He got fingered, if we could say that, in a corruption scandal. And remember, step aside. Oh, wait, he didn't. But all the news actually was that he was going to. And his party begged him and pleaded and said, please don't, because without you, Gwede Mantashe said this on TV, as did, everyone else. If you leave, Mr. Ramaphosa, the ANC's finished. And we need you to keep us in a cushy job and allow us to keep sucking from the teat of the patronage network. So they begged and pleaded with Ramaphosa to stay. Stay he did. And as a result, here he is. The ANC have protected one of their own. Zuma 2.0. Will anything change between now and 2024? Probably not.
Well, it will get worse. I mean, stage 6 is just going to be normal, right? Maybe they're going to... who knows? Like, it could get worse before 2024. Of that, I have no doubt whatsoever. I just hope that people that watch these videos, I mean, you are based already if you do watch this. You do understand that Cyril is actually the bad guy. But hopefully now you can tell all your friends that, look, here's the vote, guys. 4 people voted against him. 4. And they're all Muppets. Like, no one cares about them. Cyril never had any form of opposition during his entire time as president of the ANC. Every fuck up is his. Every corruption scandal is his. Load shedding is his. Everything that has happened under his watch, he bears responsibility for. Yet, some people still love him. Some people still want to kiss his bum. Can't help those people, mate. You just can't. You should cut them out of your lives completely, because this guy is just a walking, talking disaster.
I think we should also go back to that point that you made around the RET faction, and that is, at the end of the day, the RET faction did vote against the report. They said they wanted to adopt it, but they didn't do it for the right reasons. At the end of the day, they did it because they wanted to spite Ramaphosa. They didn't do it because the ANC has any form of integrity and wanted to do the right thing, as we've just said. They did it because they wanted to be spiteful and they don't like the president. This is the type of government that we're dealing with, mate. It's always party first, country second, and it's always playing with the country as if it's a play toy in their game war chest. These guys are shameless, man. They need to go.
Yeah, I mean, 3 words, TIA. And if you watch Blood Diamond, you know exactly what I mean. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you tomorrow.